All right, everybody, the next generation of island leaders at the Guam Young Professionals organization are fittingly holding a leadership conference, and Judy and Anthony are here, and we are going to talk about this wonderful event and how we can take part. Half a day.
Half a day.
All right, welcome back, you guys. Sorry about the rain.
Oh,
we couldn't help it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you have control of it.
Yeah, well, we report it,
good.
we don't make it. So,
Yeah.
Well, one thing we are reporting on is your leadership conference, Judy, which we're really, really happy you guys are putting on. So tell me all about it.
Yeah, so it's tomorrow. So it's going to be a really great event. The event is Take the Leap, and so it's going to be able, what we're trying to do is we're trying to encourage the young professionals to get the leadership skills that some in our community who are known in our community in business and have grown their businesses. What have they done, and what can we take from them? What points can we take to be able to put into our practice to be able to grow our businesses, or to be able to grow maybe your team?
Very cool. So I like that theme. And Anthony, what do you see as far as, besides age being the obvious factor, but between young professionals and people who are maybe, like upper management or executive level, what do you see as far as like taking the leap? What should they take? Maybe risk management or,
Well, one of the biggest topics for our committee and our membership in general is the term managing up. And so automatically when people think of the term managing, they think of a manager, managing staff or, subordinates. But this conference will also help you focus on what to do if you're a progressing professional and how to manage up with your superiors. So what is the correct way to do it? How do I get recognized, but in the correct manner? I think sometimes a progressive young professional can often be mistaken as being too aggressive. And so hopefully with this kind of conference, you kind of get an opportunity to be a little bit more refined as far as your I guess your passion and your drive to be noticed by your superiors or want to progress and be in that seat.
I'm glad you brought that up, because one thing we notice here on Guam is, our culture is one based of, respect, and a lot of times people just see that as experience. You have to cut your teeth for like 10 to 15 years before you can be seen as a certain level. And young people or people that come from off island, you can be ambitious, but they see that as, being too arrogant or bold and everything. So how do we work around that?
Well, so for tomorrow, what we're going to talk about is we actually have 5 panelists, and they're young professionals right now that are in the business field. They're either running their own company, they're in a management or a leadership position at their companies, and so they're going to be able to help us and share their experience of what are their challenges, what has helped them to be able to build their career and to be able to be a leader in the community at such a young age.
Very cool.
So I think that that's going to be a great part of the event. It's going to be really fun. This is our second year that we're doing this. So the first year we had different speakers. This year what we're going to do is we're actually going to start with a breakout session. The event is going to be focused around communication, and so 3 main points that we're working with communication on. It's going to be communication with your personal brand, so your commitment to yourself and your goals, and how to be flexible with that. The second thing is going to be commitment for your team. Communication with your team. How do you communicate with your team? I think a lot of the struggles that some young professionals face is managing personalities. And so we're going to talk about that, empowering and motivating. And then from there, we're also going to talk about communication with those that you manage up to. So we have really great speakers. We'll start with Dr. Wen from American Medical Center. And then he's going to talk about his own personal goals and how you can stick to your personal goals. Sometimes once you have your personal goals, things change in life. He's had a family, he's had kids, so how he was able to stay committed to his own personal brand, personal commitment. And then we're going to also hear from Kathy Scroll, how she was able to grow the Payless markets here on Guam, and how she was able to delegate responsibilities to her team as well as motivating her team.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so, and then the communication with your team, that's where Marilyn and Chris will come in from Triple J and Docomo, and they're going to talk about how to empower your team. And then also how to manage up. But I think along with the panelists, one of the things that we're really excited for is the keynote speaker. It's going to be JK from Docomo Pacific. So, I mean, he's built a really great brand from off-island, but also coming on island. And he's going to talk about communication on 3 points, on all the 3 points that we discussed, and a little bit of his story, but also what he's been able to do here with Docomo Pacific, and also just with the brand. So I think it's going to be a phenomenal event. I think people are going to be walking away, and hopefully they're more empowered and more driven to be able to get back to their businesses and build those bottom lines.
All right, real quick, Anthony, how can we get tickets?
Well, you actually can register with the Guam Chamber of Commerce. It's as simple as sending them an email. It's the info@guamchamber.com.gu. or you can chance to be a walk-in tomorrow, but I highly suggest that you register. The admission price is $22 for GYP members, $25 for non-members.
Which is nothing considering all the information
Yes.
you're getting.
And I think one of the good things that about this event is that young professionals will have a first-hand look at how these more experienced professionals got to where they're at and the type of actions that they took, and also gain some helpful tips that maybe the everyday person doesn't normally get to hear from these great speakers.
All right, well guys, thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much
good
for
luck
having
with your
us.
event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned everyone, we're back after this.